Thank you guys for staying so late. Jeez. Really, really proud of our guys. We all know what an excellent program, excellent team that is. And, this league, not only is it physically taxing, but it's emotionally taxing, from the intensity of the games, from start to finish. So, we knew, you're going to have to overcome a lot of adversity when you play them. They're so experienced. They're so conditioned to win. They never get rattled. They just keep coming at you. But really proud of our guys and Mackay, at the end making those 2 free throws.
Yeah, it seems like both the last 2 games you guys have been willing to kind of throw punches and hang around. And I know you guys are kind of the newcomers, but you just talk about your group and coming out and kind of the aggressiveness out of the gate at home with the fans to kind of say, hey, we're here to play.
Yeah, the fans these last 2 games have been, incredible. The energy in the building from starting lineups to plays throughout the game. They just been, terrific, as good as, my 6 years being here. They were awesome. And I think our guys really feed off that energy. They feed, off a lot of that to help them, overcome some adversity and play harder when things get tougher.
Yeah, it seemed like SDSU, they were making a ton of just tough mid-range jumpers in that first half. It seemed like you guys didn't kind of overreact to that. That's when you guys were able to kind of extend that lead and get to double digits. Can you talk about your work on the defense?
Yeah, I thought our defense, that was our best stretch of defense of the night. Dennis did a really good job, blocking some shots in there, alternate shots. Our guards, were really tough on the ball and didn't give up angles, and we contested shots. And that allowed us to get out in transition. And in transition, we were able to get some baskets. So that was a really big stretch, probably our best stretch of the game.
Yeah, then kind of on the other side, those last few minutes, kind of what was happening down the stretch there, where things kind of...
Yeah, they did a good job. They went small. They did small in the first half, and that lineup was really good for them. And so they saved it, and they went late. And that lineup was really good for them again when they went small, with Simmons at the 5 and 4 guards. And, I thought we had, 3 or 4 guys had point-blank layups at the rim that we just missed or they got a hand on. We missed, I think, a free throw in there. And if we could have made some of those, that would have kept our lead. But unfortunately, they kept capitalizing on the other end and got the lead. And then Mackay just, made a great play at the rim and 2 really clutch free throws.
Yeah, it feels like we're continuing to see Brian Moore, especially on that perimeter, just running around, being a bulldog. I mean, those guards really struggled for San Diego State at points tonight. You just talk about his effort out there.
Yeah, but Brian was, played both sides of it. He was hampered late, with some things bothering him, and so he wasn't really his same the last, 5-7 minutes as he was before that. But defensively, set a great tone, and then offensively, made some big shots for us.
Have you always been a not call a timeout kind of towards the end there and kind of feel out the ebbs and flows of the game, or is that just what you felt tonight was kind of the right move?
Yeah, I think with that much time left, if it was a miss, we wanted to give our guards a chance to go. If you'd have made them, then it may have been different. But on a miss, I thought Mackay made a great decision.
You guys head out onto the road now. Obviously, really good home stretch here. Brian on Saturday talked about bottling this up and keeping it going. We've kind of seen the ebbs and flows throughout the first part of the season. How do you kind of keep this rolling and on the right track?
Yeah, it's these are really physical games. They're emotional games. They're taxing in a lot of ways, and this is 2 really emotional games. What was it? 5 days and 5 days, and so we have a really quick turnaround for Saturday. So I think one of the biggest things is us getting as fresh as we can, physically, but also emotionally, so we have emotion for Saturday, because this league's really good and there's a lot of really good teams, and Fresno's been playing really well, and it's really hard to win in this league.
Dutch obviously guys aren't going to be the same league next year. Dutch has talked about maybe possibly doing a home and home. Is that something you guys are interested in?
Would love to. It's what he's done with the program. I mean, obviously everyone across the nation respects San Diego State, knows how good they are. They see people's best all year long, on a nightly basis, and it's one of the elite programs in the country. So, we would love to be able to play them in the future.
Also wanted to ask you just about sort of the hot news or big news in college basketball today is Bediako at Alabama. This is the player San Diego State played against, and in the Sweet 16
Yeah.
3 years ago, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's gonna be playing again in college. Where do you stay on
Did he
that?
get cleared today? I didn't see.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Okay, I've been locked into this
He
game.
got a restraining order to play this week.
Oh my
So he could
goodness!
play
I saw
one
the
game,
initial, but I didn't see that.
He could play one game, and then the court could come back and say no. But the fact is that he, a Tuscaloosa judge. It's just getting to be ridiculous.
This has been happening for years, and I think all the coaches are in agreement in the schools. We need to get one set of rules, and you shouldn't be able to go state to state and judge to judge and get things overturned. We should have a set rule that everybody plays by. Because does that mean he wouldn't have got cleared at San Diego State or us because a judge here maybe doesn't clear him? Like, there needs to be set rules that we all follow.
Does when you see this stuff, just shake your head? Or?
You know what? You kind of get used to it. Like I'm just saying, like this has been going on for a couple of years, know, and I think coaches, coaches are smart. They want to get the best players out there, and if you can find legally ways to get them to play, if it's legal, like you try to put the best roster together that you can.
I guess final question on that: do you find yourself middle of the season? I mean, you said you just found out today. Like, do you find yourself like, man, I'm getting ready. We got another road trip now. Do you kind of find yourself, I guess, kind of caught in the middle of like, you've got to keep up with this, but you've got so much on your plate?
Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely keep up with. I knew about the first with the NCAA statement coming out, but then I didn't realize the next part of it
you got
that just happened. Yeah. But we definitely have our eye. There's a lot of this going on, and the sooner we can get to one set of rules for everybody, I think it's fair for everybody, and we all understand how to operate, which would make things a lot easier. Jeez.